Good evening. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. Chased by a swarm of killer bees, a teenage girl jumped into the river but never came back up. We'll take you to the tragic scene. And with a SpeedNet acquisition, it's beginning to look a lot like a season of discontent when all the major public institutions rebel against the government. We'll take you back to the last one in 2004, 2005. Plus, the Magistrates Court. It's the People's Court, but now it will be accessible online. Can it improve the delivery of justice? Also, police dive in for the 5th year of summer swim lessons for kids. These stories and much more are ahead on 7 News Tonight, so please stay tuned.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited. Built to serve, serving Belize.
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
Rev up your engines at Puma Energy and get ready for an exciting chance to fuel, fill, and win. For every $30 purchase on fuel, a liter of lubricant, or $10 at Super 7, get a ticket to win one of 20 fuel prizes of $1,000. And here's the thrill. Fill up with premium Clean Tech Pro and double your chances of winning. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Head to Puma Energy and Super 7 today for your chance to fuel, fill, and win.
Write your story with a vehicle loan from Atlantic Bank. Enjoy competitive interest rates, attractive repayment terms. Also, with every approved loan, you are eligible for a MasterCard credit card. To learn more, visit your nearest Atlantic Bank branch or scan the QR code to apply today. Because every journey deserves the right start.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Mom.
Drop it like it's hot.
Create something I know. You could try your luck, Papa. I want to try my luck. I like try luck.
Belize, our nation's telecommunications future is under threat. The decision to merge BTL and Smart is not progress. It is a betrayal of competition, of transparency, and of the people's trust. This acquisition hands more power to a monopoly, silence consumer choice, and risk higher prices for families and businesses alike. Those 8 members that voted in favor of this are traitors to the country and the people of Belize. Instead of strengthening our economy, this move weakens it. Instead of protecting Belizeans, it protects vested interests. We deserve accountability, not backroom deals. Belize, wise up. Say no to the acquisition of Smart. Say yes to fair competition, lower prices, and the future where the people, not corporations, win.
You're up.
These charred remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sherry Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We begin tonight with the tragic drowning of a 17-year-old girl. The incident occurred around 1 this afternoon when Sue Liu and her father were attacked by bees near mile 7 on the Philip Golson Highway. In the blink of an eye, Liu had slipped into the Belize River, likely to escape the swarm. But the part of the river is said to be about 20 feet deep, and Liu couldn't get back to the surface. In the hours between the attack and the discovery of her body, several Coast Guard officers and civilians scoured the water looking for her. And when they finally pulled her up, it was a tragedy made real. Our very own Courtney Menzes was at the scene and has this story.
This was the heartbreaking moment when 17-year-old Sue Liu's body was pulled from the murky depths of the Belize River. Her brother, upon realizing that his sister was indeed gone, broke down in tears, only to be consoled by the very men who'd spent the last 3 hours looking for her. Liu was walking with her father and these 3 dogs along the highway when they were attacked by a swarm of bees nesting in a tree stump. They both ran a few feet ahead, trying to escape the stings. Passers-by were assisting Liu's father, and sometime during the commotion, Liu went into the water and never came back up. According to her brother, Liu and her father often walk along that same route, coming from their home in Lord's Bank. When her brother got to the scene, all he could do was wait for information.
The thing is that just happened. I just come here. I don't know. Nothing happened right now, but I had to try to see what happened right now. So.
What can you tell us about what she was doing in this area? Is it somewhere she comes frequently, or can you tell us?
I'm not really sure how she come here because he walked with my pa. Yeah. Again, I don't know what happened. My auntie just called me for say, he walk here again. This thing happened again. Just hurry come here.
Yeah. Do you guys live around here?
No, we don't live around here.
So she was walking kind of far then.
Yes, I think so. I think.
Do you know if she can swim?
No, she can't. She can't swim.
It was around 1 in the afternoon when she jumped in, but it wasn't until closer to 3:30 when her body was finally retrieved. The men who waded through those difficult waters were from the 501 lifeguard. Tevin Konorki, who first located the body, explained what it was like.
Honestly, it was a little bit breathtaking due to the depth of the water. All we could have did was free dive and try to scrum the era and see how fast we could have gotten the body out of the water. Due to the darkness of the water, it was a little intense for us to see, but we still pulled through. We had the faith and the courage, and we did what we had to do to get it out.
How long were you guys in there?
Probably about 3 to 4 hours in the water, scrumming.
What was that moment like when you first felt, that something was there?
Well, I felt excited to know that at least we could have gotten the body out for the family, because I know they pretty much feel this. It's tragic that their loved one is in the water and they passed away due to the drown. But thanks to the hope and to the faith of my team, we managed to get the body out of the water and bring it forward to the brother. If you notice, he is the one who felt it the most.
How difficult was it maneuvering deep, dark waters like that?
Very difficult due to the fact that we know that there may be crocodile in the water also with us, right? But we have the faith and we have the courage, so.
And they shared some of that faith with Lou's brother when they circled him and said a prayer. The owner of 501 Lifeguard spoke to us about that moment.
Beyond the search, your team is also consoling the family. What's that about?
With our team, it's just love. Right, we show love, but we don't, we come out a lot, but we try to show respect to everybody. These guys was working, teaching swimming classes, and they wanted to left the classes, but I tell them that we have to take care of the team out. But see, the whole team is here, all instructors are here. Thanks to my team, again with Kevin, we're doing a good job on Chaplain.
And it was also emotional for members of the Belize Coast Guard, who were also assisting in the search.
We got a call from police, Mr. Marciano, that an unfortunate incident had occurred where a young lady had jumped in the river as a result of being attacked by bees. And so he was asking for the assistance of the Coast Guard to do a dive operation, to which we responded. It's never easy because you're talking about the death, the loss of life. I've been a diver for years. I've recovered personnel, people who have deceased in water, and it's never easy. There were times when I myself shed tears because of the situation, especially when you're talking about a young person such as the one today. And so it's difficult, for divers, for people when you have to retrieve someone like this from the water, knowing that their parents, their loved ones are right here. Sometimes you do become emotional.
Lou's father is currently recovering in the hospital. The family also explained that Lou has an autism diagnosis and was living with just her father. Authorities have since sprayed the area where the bees were nesting. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
The search and rescue team included 8 civilians from 501 lifeguards. Also tonight, popular opposition continues to take shape against BTL's decision to acquire SpeedNet, and that extends to the highest reaches of the Bresenio administration, where there are murmurs of discontent with the deal, which will benefit the Prime Minister's family to the tune of $18 million. And while that percolates in the background, in the public eye, most notably, we have seen the social partners committing to, quote, pursue all lawful regulatory, parliamentary, administrative, and legal remedies available, including peaceful demonstrations and, where appropriate, seeking injunctive relief as permitted under the Telecommunications Act and any other relief available at law to ensure public interest drives decision-making, end quote. That part about peaceful demonstrations put us in mind of 2004 and 2005, when that alliance was forged to great and crippling effect against the Musa administration. Our very own Jaleesa Roberts went looking in the archives.
We have seen this joint statement from the social partners, including the Belize Chamber of Commerce. And while it's not every day labor and capital find common cause, it's not the first time. We first saw it back in 2004 to 2005, days on protests and unrest. In March of 2005, the National Trade Union Congress and the Belize Chamber of Congress, led respectively by Horace Patton and Arturo Vasquez, actually signed an agreement for a joint plan of action to keep the then Musa administration on the straight and narrow when it comes to reform and taxation.
Why put it on paper, why sign to an agreement, really so that we can be clear between both organizations as to what we want to achieve. We do understand that there may be differences at times, we may be addressing different issues, so the document clearly states that there are times when we may want to be addressing certain issues on our own. We may be going after the same objectives but in different angles. You know, like for example, Friday there's a demonstration. The Chamber will not be participating in that as an organization, but we will be participating as membership, as individual membership. As to whether we will be closing businesses in the future, there is a possibility.
Turns out they did both a shutdown and participate in a massive protest. That shutdown was in January of 2005.
The recommendation was a one-day shutdown. Interestingly, as we presented this to the membership, nobody was satisfied at one day. I mean, the majority were shorting from 2 and more. But I don't think that we need to get too irresponsible at this point. I think we need to address it little by little. So the resolution, to answer your question, is it's a 2-day shutdown for Thursday and Friday.
Joining the Chamber chorus, the Belize Business Bureau today called for a 3-day shutdown of businesses.
And the members of the Chamber and the Belize Business Bureau marched with the unions in August of 2004, even if they could not get a blanket endorsement from their divided membership.
Giving okay for the membership to go as individuals, but the Chamber will not be out there like a banner of the Chamber. Some of the reasons really is that people tend to point on these things as political issues. But all the membership do have the permission, if you want to call it that, to be out there as individuals to support this cause. I think the demonstration is a good thing. It shows the strength that people are dissatisfied.
We support the objective of the parade, which is to allow the citizenry a space to protest if they consider it appropriate that they want to protest in the fashion of marching, but that as a board we cannot mandate our membership to go out there and parade.
That demonstration turned out to be one of the largest protests we have ever seen, when thousands walked through the streets with a strong and militant message against the Musa administration.
If I didn't come out here, I'd feel bad on Monday. This is something I have to do. It's not personal. This is something I feel I have to do.
There's a first step, and this is the first step to show the government that this has to stop. See the banner? Enough.
Well, I am hoping that it will send a clear message to the authorities, to the powers that be, that the people are concerned, and the people have perhaps reached a place of being past concerned. That in many instances people are fed up and want to see positive action in terms of how we handle ourselves, how we manage our resources in this nation.
I'm out here for my money. The time and over time to make people that believe start to stand up and say what they believe. It's not about party politics. This is about how much we pay every month, and we don't know where it is.
Well, I think the PUP really gone too far. At least some ministers in the government gone too far, messing with the social security money, you know. And the only people suffer are the poor people.
Just like everybody else, I'm concerned about the public funds. I know that people are trying to paint this as a political thing. It's not a political thing, and I join in solidarity with the Belizean people.
Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
That was 2004, and now 22 years later, all eyes turn to Belmopan on Tuesday, where Cabinet will meet, and reports suggest protesters plan to be outside that meeting. And stay tuned, we take a break now, but when we come back, Santander says they're not the ones responsible for the fish kill on the Belize River, and making the courts accessible online, but will better justice follow? We'll show you the new Magistrates Court website. Stay tuned.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Write your story with a home loan from Atlantic Bank. Enjoy competitive interest rates, attractive repayment terms. Also, with every approved loan, you are eligible for a MasterCard credit card. To learn more, visit your nearest Atlantic Bank branch or scan the QR code to apply today. Home is where your story unfolds every day.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years. Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We continue our newscast tonight with a story about Santander Sugar Group is responding to growing questions surrounding the fish kill in the Belize River Valley. In a statement, the company says its operations do not routinely discharge processed water into the Belize River and that its canals are not connected to the laboring creek. However, Santander says it has been cooperating with the Department of the Environment and the other government agencies investigating the incident. The company said it, quote, immediately granted unrestricted access to our facilities and operations and remains available to provide information or assistance to investigators. On the issue of wastewater, the company says its processing facility operates as a closed-loop system. Quote, unlike conventional discharge systems, the factory does not operate with a continuous process effluent stream returning to the Belize River. Santander also says its operations form part of a larger watershed that includes agricultural, residential, and other land uses extending from the Cayo district into the Belize district. They added that it manages approximately 12% of the agricultural land within that wider watershed. The Department of the Environment still has not established the cause of the fish kill, but continues to investigate, and Area Representative Marconi Leal says he's determined to get to the bottom of it. And today, the magistrate courts of Belize took a closer step to digitization as they launch their new website. The launch included a full explanation of what it offers and how it can help speed up the process of daily tasks at the magistrate's court throughout the country. Notably, the landmark occasion saw the absence of Belize's Chief Justice, Madame Justice Louise Esther Blenheim, but saw the attendance of the DPP justices in the High Court and the Solicitor General, as well as other legal dignitaries. Jaleesa Roberts attended the ceremony and found out how the courts got closer with the click of a button.
For many Belizeans, dealing with the magistrate court has never been as simple as showing up for a hearing. It can mean spending hours on a bus, returning to court for endless adjournments, waiting in long lines, making repeated phone calls that go unanswered, or relying on friends to explain what a summons, bail application, or court form actually means. And for people already navigating an intimidating system, one wrong piece of information can make an already difficult process even harder. But the magistrate court is now changing that. A new website, www.magistracy.gov.bz, is putting court information, forms, and practical guidance at the fingertips of Belizeans. An initiative Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers says is about more than technology. It is about making justice accessible.
This website is meant to be a tool to assist the public on how to operate when they come to the magistrate court, to have information so that they know exactly what to ask for and get the exact services that they need.
What specific problems or complaints from the public convinced you that this website was necessary?
One of our biggest criticisms in the magistracy is that we didn't explain things enough to people. And unfortunately, our magistrates and our clerks of court have a high degree of workload. Our dockets are 50 to 100 people a day. The magistrate court is a high traffic institution. So to meet that need and to give access to that information, we thought that a website would have been the best and most accessible platform. Yes, our staff is still going to be there to be able to assist those who don't have access to internet services or who don't have a computer or printer at home. But for now, we believe that this is a significant step in meeting that demand.
Legal systems can be difficult for regular folk to navigate, and that difficulty can become even greater when information is presented in legal jargon. The European Union, which supported the development of the platform, says the goal is to bring the justice sector closer to people.
So what the website does is that it makes it easier for the people living in Belize to be able to get clear guidance, clear information, download the forms on their own, and kind of get information which is in plain, simple language, not legal jargon, because we know that can be really tough, in Spanish and English. So it's a great start.
How do you all feel about the final product?
I took a look yesterday night when I was preparing to talk today. I think it's really great. I think it's a great start. I found it user-friendly, easy to navigate. I like the fact that it's in 2 languages. Of course, we know there's more languages spoken in Belize, but perhaps that will come gradually. So all in all, 10 and 10.
And Belize is increasingly moving towards digital government services. But the Chief Magistrate says the justice system cannot afford to leave behind the very people it is supposed to serve. Some Belizeans still have limited internet access, others do not even have computers or printers, and some still communicate with the court the way they always have, on paper.
And while more government ministries are moving towards a fully digital platform, we believe in the magistracy that we can never fully go digital. That means that we would disenfranchise the greater majority of people that we serve. So in order to do that, we're taking on a more blended approach. So yes, more services will be available through the platform, but we'll still maintain our paper-based services for those who don't. We still get handwritten correspondence from litigants quite often at the magistrate court. So that is an indication of the demographic that we're serving and the people who need our services.
More times than not, the justice system, especially the magistrate's court, intimidates people. But Rogers says they want to change the perception of the courts to the public.
We want to break that stigma in how the public operates with the magistrate court, in how we interact. We want to dispel the misconception that the court should be feared. Please approach us. Ask us the questions that you have, because we have a duty to respond. We have a duty to assist you all. Many of the perceptions that the general public holds of the magistracy come from our colonial heritage. But in modernizing our court, we also have to appreciate that it needs to be user-friendly. And for the longest time, the magistrate court simply was not user-friendly to the ordinary litigant. So that's what we're trying to change.
A new era for the courts. But will making the system more user-friendly actually improve the delivery of justice? For that, we'll just have to wait and see. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
But the question now arises if the fancy new website will be able to eliminate the backlog completely. In 2025, Belize's Magistrates Court recorded 15,317 criminal cases submitted and 4,877 disposed of, for a 32% clearance rate, meaning about 68% were not disposed of during the reporting period. The civil caseload showed an even lower clearance rate, with 4,941 cases submitted and just 891 disposed of, or 18%, leaving more than 80% not disposed of during the reporting period. Meanwhile, in other news tonight, the administrative fallout from the Smart Stream exposure has officially hit the desk of every chief executive officer and accounting officer in Belmopan. With the sub $10,000 invoice splitting pipeline exposed to the public, ministries looking to bypass open competitive bidding have been leaning on another classic administrative trick: abusing selective and limited tendering under the convenient cover of urgency. Well, the Contractor General, Maria Arthurs, is officially slamming that backdoor shut. In a stern memorandum issued on July 23rd, circular number 3 of 2026, the Contractor General formally puts the entire public service on notice. Open tendering is the law, and claiming a contract is urgent will no longer be accepted as a blanket excuse to handpick preferred vendors. The Contractor General notes that her office has observed a sharp increase in ministries bypassing open public bidding. In response, the memorandum underscored strict new parameters designed to strip away the standard administrative excuses. The Contractor General warns that any submission failing to meet these strict legal standards will be flatly rejected and returned to the ministry. Coming just 16 days after Prime Minister John Briceño convened a special cabinet summit on procurement compliance, this directive confirms what the SmartStream leaks made undeniable. The loopholes used to circumvent open competition were being systematically exploited. BTL's proposed $80 million acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited is being framed as a strategic upgrade for national infrastructure. However, we've been studying the numbers and the analysis of the financial projections, legal boundaries, and corporate governance reveals a deal pitched by the seller on questionable accounting assumptions, significant public risk, and clear anti-competition concerns. Our very own Jules Vasquez reports.
BTL and the seller claim the $80 million price tag for SpeedNet is justified by an estimated 4.2-year payback period. However, the underlying numbers reveal key discrepancies. First, there's the omission of financial ratios. BTL's public communications emphasizes a 4.2-year payback without providing the standard metrics used for public investment, such as net present value, internal rate of return, or a formal discounted payback schedule. The 4.2-year recovery claim appears to rely on simple payback math, dividing the $80 million purchase price by an assumed $19 million annual net profit. But simple payback can be too simple. It ignores the time value of money, future operating capital expenditures, and debt service costs. And then there's the financial modeling by Moore Belize, which is one of the only documents that the board members of BTL received. It projects SpeedNet will generate $69.1 million in revenue with a massive 66.5% profit margin, far higher than BTL's own 44% margin. But if SpeedNet's actual revenue is closer to 28 to 32 million, the realistic payback timeline expands from 4.2 years to 13 to 25 years. Proponents highlight that core profits will nearly double from 65 million to 119 million. But company slides show total sales stop growing as soon as the deal closes. Combined revenue would increase to 234.1 million in financial year 2027 as SpeedNet is subsumed, but that revenue grows by less than 1% annually through financial year 2029. So, because revenue goes flat, the projected jump in profit seems to depend almost entirely on aggressive cost reduction. Lord Ashcroft's press release confirms planned reductions in power costs, software licenses, maintenance, and duplicated corporate functions, including sales, marketing, HR, finance, IT, and purchasing. Neither BTL nor the government has disclosed the exact scope of planned redundancies or downsizing to SpeedNet staff. Beyond the financial metrics, the transaction eliminates Belize's only second major mobile and broadband provider, creating a national telecoms monopoly. As the social partners have pointed out, Section 42(4) of the Telecommunications Act explicitly prohibits any licensee from entering agreements that have the effect of, quote, significantly lessening competition in any market for the supply of telecommunication services. They have called for an, quote, immediate halt to the acquisition. BTL is a public-owned private company and key questions have not been answered. Will BTL release SpeedNet's full audited financial statements for the past 5 years to verify actual revenue and profit margins? Why were standard valuation metrics omitted from public disclosures? And board consideration? And how will the PUC enforce Section 42.4 of the Telecommunications Act to prevent a complete market monopoly which works against consumer interests?
And we'll continue to look more closely at the numbers next week. And returning now to one of our top stories, as a new school semester approaches, these 85 students and their parents will have one less thing to worry about regarding education financing, thanks to the Social Security Board's annual scholarship program. A handover ceremony was held today for the selected students, with a majority being associate degree awardees. Our very own Jo Marie Lanza attended the ceremony, and here's how it went.
For the past 25 years, the Social Security Board has empowered Belizean youth through its initiative, Transforming Lives Through Education, granting well over 1,000 scholarships to date. Out of 200 applicants this year, 85 outstanding students were selected to receive funding for their high school and associate degree studies. Communications and Public Relations Officer Vanessa Veos shared more with us.
The scholarship is a help towards the tuition for the high school level and the associate degree level. So it gives the parents some support to cover the cost of their child's education. This year we are awarding 85 scholarships. 64 of those are for the associate degree level and 21 are for the high school level. So 85 students will be here today to receive their scholarship for the high school for the next 4 years. That's what that scholarship means. They will get $1,200 each year for 4 years, and then the associate degree level gets $1,000 per semester per year.
Recipients were selected from all districts. Veos explained that the recipients are selected by a mix of both ability and need.
Vetting process entails, and first of all, ensuring that the student submitted everything that was required in the first instance. So if you submitted some of the documents required and not all, then you're not really shortlisted. If you pass that level, then what is done is they look at the documents that you have provided, and in addition to that, we would also review your essay, because writing an essay is a part of the process to say from the student's perspective, why are you reaching out to us for a scholarship? And so once we read that, we understand more about the student. So it's not a process that is black and white or clinical in that sense. We want to know about you as an applicant, right? And once the criteria is met, where you have demonstrated financial need, you've demonstrated that you can complete the program, you are a born Belizean, and you have a B+ average, chances are you would be awarded that scholarship.
And 2 of those associate level scholarships will go to a UB and St. John's Junior College student. We asked them how much of a difference this financial aid will make in their educational endeavors.
This scholarship will allow me to explore my opportunities. This will also take off a huge financial burden from my parents, and it will allow me to explore more than what I have dreamed and more of what I dream to achieve.
What are your career aspirations?
My career aspiration is to become a criminal defense attorney and then later on become a judge.
The scholarship is going to be like a big help because, money's tight sometimes, and then being able to move freely without worrying about like where the money's coming from is like a big relief.
So tell us a bit about why you decided to choose graphic design.
Oh, I've always had a passion about art, and then when I found out that Johns had graphic design as a course, I was immediately interested. So then I applied for Johns, and then when they accepted me, I immediately applied for graphic design. I would love to get into advertising, like specifically spice up the industry a little bit, because I feel like in Belize we could use a bit more like advertise focused like jobs, a bit more like creative like endeavors that we could do. Like there's a lot more that we could do as a country, and I want to help with that.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And we take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you about a major loss for the Ministry of Natural Resources at the Court of Appeal. Plus, the police dive in for the 5th year of youth swim lessons. Stay tuned for more news.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The world is watching. The stakes are high. And with an Atlantic Bank credit card, your moments start online.
Bro, tickets just dropped.
I have my credit card ready. So how many tickets, guys?
I'll take two.
1, 2.
I want 3.
Go further, experience more. Make your online purchases seamless, secure, and in real time.
All right, let's buy the tickets now. What did you do, bro? I need to enter a password.
Oh, Atlantic Bank's credit card has a 3D secure feature to protect your online shopping.
Check your email.
Some transactions require an additional layer of security. 3D Secure adds an extra verification step. An OTP is sent to ensure it is you authorizing payment.
Guys, we got the tickets!
Yes! Your online transactions, made with Atlantic Bank credit cards, are fast, safe, and verified.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We continue our newscast now with a story coming out of the courts. In a major legal blow to the state, the Court of Appeal of Belize has unanimously dismissed an appeal brought by the Minister of Natural Resources and the Attorney General. The court affirmed that 4 August 2020 land sale agreements with Fowler Works Enterprises Limited remain valid and legally enforceable, that is, even if they were politically questionable and went afoul of FARA provisions. The decision leaves the government facing potentially millions of dollars in damages. The controversy dates back to the final months of the previous administration when the Ministry of Natural Resources entered into 4 separate agreements to sell a total of nearly 2,000 acres of national land in the Duck Run area of the Cayo District to Fowler Works Enterprises Limited. Fowler Works paid the full purchase price on October 22, 2020. However, following the general election on November 11th of 2020, the new administration deemed the transaction suspicious, refused to transfer the title, and effectively canceled the deal. Fowler Works treated the government's refusal as a repudiation, that is, of contract and filed suit claiming damages. The company won that case at the High Court, and dissatisfied with the trial judge's decision, the government went to the Court of Appeal. In a comprehensive judgment delivered today by Chief Justice Luis Blenman, the appellate court firmly rejected the state's arguments. The Court of Appeal ordered that the case be remitted to the High Court for the formal assessment of damages owed to Fowler Works Enterprises Limited. Given that the land transaction involved nearly 2,000 acres coupled with accrued interest and legal expenses, the judgment is expected to cost Belizean taxpayers a substantial sum. The state was also ordered to pay Fowler Works court costs for the appeal, and Fowler Works was represented by Dean Barrow, SC, and Agassi Finnegan, while Deputy Solicitor General Samantha Matute and Imani Burgess represented the Minister of Natural Resources and the Attorney General. Turning our attention back to one of our top stories now, the Belize Police Department wrapped up its annual summer swim camp today at Old Belize Kukumba Beach. Up to 50 young participants spent the past few weeks mastering water safety, boosting their confidence, and picking up essential life skills under the guidance of police and Coast Guard officers. Jo Marie Lanza stopped by the final session to see what they learned about staying afloat in life and on water.
The Belize Police Department is marking its 5th year of hosting successful summer swimming lessons for local youth. Over the course of just a few days, young participants learn to conquer their fear of the water, building self-trust as they master floating, paddling, and swimming independently. Senior Superintendent Gerald Jones said that providing children with these crucial life skills is a privilege for the department.
This is a conclusion of our one-week swimming program that we have worked with collaboration with the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Police Department, of course. We have currently 50 young people between the ages of 4 and 16 participating in this one-week swimming course. We are so privileged in having them because at the end of the day, swimming is a skill and tool that you'll be able to use long life. It will not only help them to save lives, but save the lives of others as well. So we find it that during this time when school is out, it is important to keep the younger people active, and they have signed up to be part of this one-week program, and so we're privileged to have them.
And leading the lessons is Coast Guardsman Lieutenant Andrew Moody. We asked him which approaches and techniques have proven most effective in helping children overcome their fear of water.
So just today my staff was telling me that we have a 95% swimming progress. So we went from kids who were shaking and afraid to swim to swimming across the deep end. It is very, very fulfilling to see these being passed on to these young children. Some of them are really scared of the water, and when they leave from here, earlier this morning I had them running across the play trampoline that you see out there. They were all over that, so we are really happy when they fall in the water, they are able to swim across, go to this shallow. So we have a lot of little techniques that we use, and one that we like to use is just the simple bobs, getting their head under the water, taking in air, blowing out. And one of the fun ones that we like to use is the cannonball. Now, kids love to play in the water. So we have them cannonball into the water. That way your entire body is submerged. We're right there to lift them up and tell them it's okay, go to the side. And when kids see other kids doing it and having fun, it makes it easier for them to be comfortable to do it. The big ones have really enjoyed stretching themselves out, learning how to swim on their backs, how to recover doggy paddles and stuff like that. The younger ones are really, we have to really grab their attention because they just want to flutter around in the water. So we try to put in our military training also with discipline, and we pull them together. So it's a holistic approach that we bring to this swimming program.
We also spoke with some of the kids right after their swim, and they shared what they have learned from the program.
At first, I didn't know how to swim. I didn't know how to float in the water. Then my mom take me here so then that I can learn how to swim. So they teach me how to do the basics, float on top of water, do the back swimming, and all of that stuff.
I learned that how to do the back float, the front float, and the doggy paddle.
My favorite thing was to come and do here is to swim across the pool and help people who can't swim, and that it's always fun but not at the deep end because you might drown.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And now for our final story this evening. Stig the artist is stepping into a new chapter with his self-titled album, Stig, released 1 week ago. The 10-track project showcases Belizean artist versatility, moving between dancehall, reggae, hip-hop, and more melodic sounds. The album is also making an early impact, with Stig announcing that it debuted at number 7 on the iTunes reggae chart in the U.S. Today, he told us he just wants to inspire youths to believe in their dreams. Here's more.
So this entire time, I think 10 years professionally, I've been doing music and I've never dropped an actual album. So I said, now is the time. You know, I'm so locked in these past couple months. I'm on a new path, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. So I said, I want to express myself through music, you know, through what I do best.
What have you learned throughout the past 10 years doing music professionally?
I think I've learned longevity. I think my journey has shown that I went on a path and I stuck on the path, and now I'm finally seeing some of the fruits of my hard labor.
What can persons expect to hear in this album?
I want people to, whenever people hear this album, I want you to think hits, because every single song, you know, I didn't approach this album thinking, oh, I want to vent or I want to tell you guys a story. No, I thought about the gym. I thought about the clubs, the radio. Yes, there's a few songs that are inspiring, but the purpose of this album, honestly, it's a playlist for you to enjoy, for you to dance, for you to feel good, to uplift you.
How long did it take for you to put this together?
We spent 2 weeks in the studio. I can't lie. Me and Randy Sutherland, we spent 2 weeks in the Placencia Song Studio, and every single day we just grind and we made a new song. Every single day we were locked in. One youth from Kamalote with a dream is now touring the US, now performing on a big stage, collabing with Byron Messiah, DJ Khaled, you know, Davido. It all started with a dream, and it all started with the love for music, and like I said, consistency, longevity. So with the place that I'm at, the number one goal is to inspire, to keep inspiring the youth. So, you know, to all the youths them with a dream, know that if you keep consistent and you keep believing and you keep working towards your goal, whatever it is possible.
His album can be streamed on all major platforms. And that's all we have for you on 7 News tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Have a good evening and join Indira Craig back here on Monday. Have a good weekend, folks.